Welcome to The Crunch with Crib. I'm Jess, and each episode I'll be talking with some of WA's best real estate agents and business people to find out what makes them tick and what lessons they've learnt on their journey to success. Ryan Smith is no stranger to working weekends and late nights. Proving his early entrepreneurial chops with a string of successful businesses under his belt, Ryan turned to real estate last year and was recently named REIWA's Rookie of the Year and Realmark's Rising Star. We invited Ryan onto The Crunch to chat about how his background in sport and digital marketing have helped him make his mark in his first year of real estate. Okay, Ryan, welcome to The Crunch.
Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. Now, to be honest, I didn't know really where to start with you in terms of your intro because your list of accomplishments is as long as my arm, from what I can gather. To start with, I want to congratulate you. You've just taken out REIWA's Rookie of the Year and Realmark's Rising Star, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Stellar year, stellar first year. For those who kind of aren't aware of your background, I've mentioned your list of accomplishments and it is long. So from state golf representative, football representative, you've owned a number of businesses from what I can gather, all by the age of 27, 28.
28.
So to start with, I'm going to go right back to your first business. Can you tell me about your first business, what led to it and what it was?
Yeah, well, my first business was actually in the fitness industry. So I first was a personal trainer, but the way my mind works, it was trying to figure out a way to obviously make more money. And as a personal trainer, all you have is time. So then we dove into the gym. So myself, my dad, and one of my best friends at the time, we basically decided to start our own gym, which we opened and we still got running today, Stadium Fitness. So we got two of those, one in Osborne Park in East Perth, and that was the first business.
Okay, so was that your brand and your everything?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, chose not to go into a franchise, just
Correct.
to start your own thing off.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, I guess, how that came about, and because you said the right way your mind works.
Well, I guess from being a personal trainer, and a lot of personal trainers will know this, is you can only get paid for how many hours you do. The beauty of online now is a lot of personal trainers are doing a lot of stuff online, using their Instagram and Facebook followings to be able to create that further income. At the time, I didn't know too much about that. So my mindset was get a gym, you have recurring payments, personal train within the gym, and away you go.
Okay, beautiful. Away you go.
Yeah.
So from there, what came next? Because that's obviously not your only business venture.
Yeah, so from there, digital marketing came next. Basically doing the gyms, I started to do a lot of online courses around digital marketing. I didn't study it at university. I studied counterterrorism, security, intelligence at university, so a bit of a strange one. But the digital marketing came next. We got some really good results with the gyms. Then I sort of thought, well, here's another business idea, teamed up with another mates, and away we went, and we looked after about 15 to 20 restaurants and entertainment places around Perth. So that was the next one. Following that, got involved in some restaurants in Cambodia.
Okay.
So spent a lot of time up there in Singapore, and they're still running to this day. It's a bit of everything, a bit of diversity.
So obviously extremely entrepreneurial in terms of having an idea, getting it set up, getting it rolling, and I'm assuming then handing it over to someone else to run the business so you can move on to the next thing. Is that kind of
very much so. The gyms. Yes, the gyms obviously have managers. They run themselves. So putting your business in a position to where it can look after itself, create that residual income where it doesn't need you. And to find someone that's better than you that can run the business and you can sit in the background, because a lot of business owners will know this, is no one cares as much as you do about your own business. So to be able to find someone that is talented and that cares is near on impossible, but can be done.
So are your parents in business? What kind of drove this internal entrepreneur spirit in you?
So my dad used to be a professional golfer.
Yeah.
He has had his own businesses. He was in sports management, so looked after a lot of the Eagles and Dockers players at the time. He did leave that, went into running a lot of golf tournaments and golf events, mostly in Australia. But yeah, we basically just golf and those businesses. So yeah.
But there's obviously some kind of family history there.
Yeah, definitely. So he's involved with the gyms with me now. So me and him run the gyms together. We obviously have managers that look after him, but overall we oversee it.
Okay. So you've gone sport, fitness, digital marketing, restaurants.
Yeah. I'm a strange person.
Real estate.
Yeah.
Tell me about real estate.
Well, I actually went to real estate when I was 18. So as soon as I left school, I went and did my real estate license.
Okay.
But at the time, I was playing state golf and football, and time was not of.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't have much time. So obviously, weekends for real estate were a massive thing.
Yeah.
Back then, I was playing footy or golf, whichever one it was. So it was near on impossible to commit. And if I'm not committed 110%, I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm letting the team down or myself down. So I chose to take a step back. I wanted to keep the mind ticking over. So that's where I went to university. And university wasn't to study to get a job. It was more so to study to keep the mind working.
Okay. Why did you choose counterterrorism at university?
Because I was interested in it.
Yeah, okay.
Literally. I wasn't looking for a job in it. It
Yeah.
was more of something that it was the majored in computer science. So
Yeah.
a bit of a tech nerd. So I do like that side of things. But yeah.
A very expensive interest building
correct.
exercise.
Gotta love the hex step.
So real estate, you had an interest in it early on, and then what brought you back to it?
I felt like I was always going to come back to it.
Yeah.
I love people, and I guess real estate's one of those industries where everything is about people. Everyone can find the stats online of a property or what it's worth, what it's sold from, but at the end of the day, it's relationships, and I feel that is what I'm very good at, is building relationships with people, and I love working with people and all sorts of different people. So it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah, yeah. So what? Tell me, I guess, about, because you've been in the business a year.
Yep.
Extremely successful. 27 properties sold in your first year. Is that correct?
Just ticked over about 33 now, so
Okay,
they're ticking over.
So 6 since I've done my research. It is a people business. How did you do you think your experience with other businesses helped you, I guess, gain trust and building those relationships? You've kind of had some experience in that regard, because as a young guy, it can be, I guess, difficult to get people to trust you with their biggest asset. Do you think, what are those experiences that you've had before? How did that help you?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I get along with everyone. So from building a relationship with people always seems to come easy. Just be yourself, be a good person, and they will trust you. Don't lie. But I guess coming from the gyms, obviously,
number one rule.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Google, don't be evil.
Yeah, just tell it how it is. It's not rocket science. But coming from the gyms, I sold gym memberships. So there's sales. Coming from digital marketing is marketing. Anything to do with from photography to videos, to online, from websites, links, all that sort of stuff, Facebook, Instagram, which a lot of people are slowly getting into these days, but it all adds up. It's just a process that you follow, and I guess that's what I've been good at, is following that process. It works, and I've just stuck true to it.
Yeah. With the digital marketing, I'm interested to hear, I guess, what, digital marketing is a term that is so broad and can encompass so many different things. So what, in your other business, what did you specialize in, and then what specific skills? You mentioned some of them then, but have you kind of brought over and have been really helpful in real estate? Yeah,
absolutely. The Facebook it's a scary tool. A lot of people are scared of it, how much it actually knows. And I think over the last few years, and if people have watched The Great Hack with the presidential campaign, you would have seen how powerful it actually is if used correctly.
Yeah.
It knows what people are looking at. It knows what they're searching. So why not use that to your advantage and use that to help your clients out? And that's the biggest thing, is every real estate agent these days can bring an audience from realestate.com or domain.com, all of that stuff. But it's more about, you got to get creative in the market, especially in Perth at the moment, is how can I bring a new audience to this house, whether it's people that aren't even looking in that suburb or people that are looking in that suburb. And Facebook and Instagram, if you can do it correctly, you can see it at home opens immediately. Some people really don't believe in it, and they don't invest in Facebook, and you see the home open numbers are quite low. And as soon as you do a Facebook ad combined with everything else, it's quite incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of your main additional tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about, obviously, you're working with Realmark.
Yep.
And John is kind of well known in the industry for being really, tech first and an industry leader in regards to those kind of trends. Why did you, I'm assuming you did your research when you joined Realmark, and you had some other things that you were looking at. What kind of attracted you to Realmark and the brand and what they offered to you as a rep?
Yeah, well, at the first, playing in football, I actually knew Paul Tonich back in the day.
Okay.
He was one of my mentors growing up in the footy club. When I was sort of looking to get back into it, I did make the call to him. And obviously at the time, Altitude was getting bought out by Realmark.
Yeah.
I didn't know too much about really anything. I didn't even know much about Altitude. I just knew about Paul Tonich. And Paul said, you got to come and meet John. So it was quite funny as he literally I called him that night. The next morning, I'm in my gym gear in the Leaderville office at Realmark, having an interview with John in a singlet and shorts and some tennis shoes, and had a chat for an hour. And John was awesome. He's sort of a really guy that you can relate and you can just tell his experience and what he was in for. And yeah, so he said, when you want to start? And that's the way I went.
Obviously made a good impression.
Yeah, the singlet and shorts got real comfortable.
I wanted to talk about, we obviously talked a little bit about, digital marketing and that kind of thing, but your LinkedIn headline, I wanted to bring it up because I was obviously doing my research, is disrupting the property space through the science of digital marketing. And I wanted to ask you about that because I feel like lots of reps are talking about digital marketing and how they're using it. And I think it is a space where some reps are getting taken for a ride in regards to outsiders coming in and offering all these new tools and, all of that kind of thing. So I kind of wanted to get your take on that. On that headline, I guess.
Yeah, well,
what you're doing differently.
It actually all started. I'm not a big sleeper.
Yeah.
So I'm up most nights.
That makes sense considering you've had 700 careers.
I'm up most nights, and I love to do online courses. Yeah. So I did a lot of online courses with digital marketing. So like I said, I didn't go to university for anything, but the internet is a very powerful tool, and if you start hunting, you can find some really good courses online. That's sort of how I got into it, and it was just constantly learning. YouTube's another powerful tool. Like it's free, it's out there to grab. I think a lot of people sort of just see it as, we even talk to sellers, and they think it's some sort of trick. Like they don't, some of them just really don't believe in it, but you sort of go back, and the beauty of Facebook is the numbers are real, they're live, you can see it right there. We can screenshot and show them, this is how many people have clicked on the post, this is how many people have seen it, this is how many people have engaged in it. So it is a very powerful tool from that sense. In terms of the disrupting the property space through the science of digital marketing, I can't take credit from that. I did have a copywriter who does a lot of my work and writes that. That is one thing I will never be as a writer. I'm good with numbers, but horrible with English. But that's why we have copywriters.
That's exactly right. Outsource the things you're not good at. Don't try to be good at them. Are there any other reps, I guess, that you're keeping an eye on that you think are doing things really well in that space, in that kind of digital space? Yeah,
well, just in our office, we've got a great office at Realmark Floreat. Nathan Tonich, Paul Tonich, Corey Adamson, all those guys in there, Vanessa Barry. They're all on Facebook now. They're starting to get the idea of Facebook Live, for example, and a lot more videos. Everyone knows that the online space is going a lot more video. It's obviously from organic growth. Facebook actually reward you while you go down the video path, but a lot of people aren't willing to put their face out there, or they're too nervous. And honestly, at the start as well, I didn't really like putting my face on a video, and we're really just starting to get into it now. But it's just those things you just got to do. Yeah. You can't be in this game if you're scared of rejection. You just got to cop it on the chin.
Put it out there.
Yeah, move forward.
I saw we did, full disclosure, we've recently done your testimonial videos, which I watched this morning, and they are brilliant.
They were awesome.
On your testimonial videos, because when I was watching those this morning, I thought this guy must be doing something right, because you've been in the industry a year and they're brilliant videos, and you've got about 6 clients, I think, on there singing your praises. What's your process? And you said you're a people person and all of those kinds of things, but I guess, what do you think you're doing differently to maybe other rookies out there to get those houses sold and have people saying such great things about you?
Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing differently, because I'm not too focused on. There's a lot of rookies out there, and probably some really good ones as well. But I sort of just focus on what I know that works. I pick a few agents around, like you look at your Brad Triplets or Aaron Green, your Paul Tonich, Nathan Tonich, those sort of guys, and every one of them runs a different business, and they all run them very successfully. Yeah. So I guess it's go learn from these people, take what I guess relates to you. A lot of it doesn't relate to me, but there's 1 or 2 things from every one of them, and there's several other agents out there as well. You take what works for you and put it into play. You've got to be you. You can't be someone else, because you will get caught out. If you're trying to fake it, it's people see right through you. People are smart enough these days.
Yeah. You mentioned Paul as a bit of a mentor, I guess, early on.
Yep.
Is there, and Brad and Aaron and all those guys, really strong reps with Realmark. Have you spent the first year kind of shadowing anyone? Are you getting coaching? Are you learning on the fly? What's your process to kind of getting better at real estate?
Yeah, not so much shadowing them. Definitely catching up with them once a month to pick their brain about whatever it is I'm interested in at the time.
Yeah.
I try to help them where I can with the digital side of things, but it's more of, once again, it's just keeping in touch with people like that, watching what they do. The game changes every day, so being able to stay in touch with that is vitally important.
Yeah. What do you think it is? Is there anything else you've brought aside from the digital experience, obviously, from the previous roles that you've been in, whether it's sport or, fitness or whatever, that you've brought to this job and that's translated over really well?
Work ethic.
Yeah. Lack of sleep.
Yeah.
No weekend.
Yeah, literally. It's 7 days a week, 17 hours a day. No, I love working. I generally have fun working, whether it was at the gyms, whether it's traveling up to the restaurants, whether it's the digital marketing side. It's just sort of, I become obsessed with things, and I definitely became obsessed with real estate.
Yeah.
My wife sometimes doesn't agree with it because sometimes I don't get to see her as much as I should. But it's your first year, you first start to a career. I think you've got to throw everything at it. And whether you make sure every day for 7 days a week, you're the first one in there, last one to leave, opening up the office, closing down the office. So it's just, and that's through golf and sport, that background of just being harassed by coaches to be putting in the extras. But I've always sort of responded well to that, and that's kept me ticking along.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest shock to you, or the biggest surprise, or the biggest learning curve in real estate as opposed to everything else?
That's a tough one. I don't know how quickly the market can change, and I guess mindset, like how quickly sellers and buyers' mindsets change so often. I've dealt with sellers that have been dealing with the previous agent, and they maybe haven't got the result they were after, and then you sort of come in there and everyone goes, "Oh, you're doing so well in this market. This is the only market I know, so I'm looking forward to when it comes good." But when you go in there with a positive, energetic, and immediately they just go, "Oh, it's so good to have some positivity back," and you might be telling them the exact same things, but it's just energy and mindset can create massive changes.
Do you think sports helped you with that? Because obviously you can't walk onto a field thinking, you're down at 3/4 time, you can't walk on there thinking, oh, God, we're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
So do you think that's something that's kind of helped you?
That's just always who I've been.
Yeah,
I guess I've always been extremely energetic. Some would say ADHD, but it's just, I've always had that sort of positive outlook. I've loved everything I've done, so you just, if you love what you do, it's not hard to be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've had obviously 33 sales under your belt for this year. You've just brought on the lovely Katrina, who's sitting with us very quietly, as your sales assistant PA. Was that a big goal for you in the first year to grow a team, or is that something that's kind of organically been, I can't work any more than 17 hours a day and I'm going to need some help?
No, it was definitely a goal. To grow the team. I guess, once again, my mindset is right now, technically I don't need someone on there, but where I want to be in 6 to 12 months' time, there's no way I'm going to be able to do those numbers by myself. So might as well prep now, create that team environment, get some procedures that we're learning. And I'm still learning a lot of processes at the moment, and Katrina did work in the UK in real estate as well, so she's teaching me a few things as well, which is awesome.
Brilliant.
But it's sort of preparing for that in 12 months' time when we do get extremely busy.
Yeah.
And that's to be ready for that. Because if you get there by yourself and you go, crap, now I need to bring on somebody, and you're not prepared for it, you might let down a client, and that client tells 7 people, and all of a sudden you've lost some business. So can't have that happen.
Absolutely. Are you a Tom Panos follower?
I do follow Tom Panos.
I thought so. So what's your big goals for the next year? What are you putting on the wall?
Goals for the year, we have an office in Floreat. We're pushing hard to sort of break into that market there. I grew up in City Beach and Wembley Downs and around there. So it's, I guess, with the social side, you can sell everywhere, but really sort of taking over a suburb and actually making an impact in that suburb is a big goal of mine.
Yeah.
A big goal of ours now. So that's the yearly goal, or that's the future goal.
How are you going to continue to juggle everything else that you're doing, or is real estate really your focus and ideally that what's going to,
Yeah, no, real estate is 110% my focus.
Yeah.
Gyms, I don't have anything to do with them anymore.
Yeah.
I get a call once a week from the manager to make sure everything's all good, make sure the place isn't burning down.
Yeah.
The Cambodian restaurants run themselves, don't have to do any of it. We've got plenty of staff up there looking after that. The
Yeah.
digital marketing side, I've got a friend, Brody, who looks after that. And yeah, it's all real estate.
100% go from here.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Well, Ryan, look, that is it from me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Congrats again on a ripper year, and look forward to seeing you kicking some more goals over the next year and doing some awesome things.
Thank you so much. It's exciting. Thanks for having me.
That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. We'd love any feedback or guest suggestions. So hit me up on Instagram. You can find me on Jess @Crib. And if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to tell a friend.